Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack Punch Traders here. Gonna make a quick video going over the day and my trades. Not too bad of a day, and did 3 for 5. Couple decent trades that put me green decently. I'm up 510 on the day, so let's just dive into it. Started off the day. Um, what was the main watch? At first it was VLON, but early on, it really reminded me a bit of ALVR. So here, let me dive into what do you call it, VLON, real quick. So solid gapper, has overhead resistance in the mid twos when it was opening up and whatnot. So just open right near resistance. A lot of selling came through, and I was foolish and I was trying to stay away. I mapped it out here as well. I need to wait 10-15 minutes, let it trap shorts, create a range, and pick a direction. And I got in prematurely. Saw this solid green volume candle holding it back up. Where's the arrows here? It ended up being a fake out. Was in it for a minute or two, and I'm just failing. So that was a foolish, stupid loss on decent size for a starter. So for a play that I was already breaking a rule, should have been more conservative with my size. But it's okay. It was so early. There's always a play that will come around that will put me green, and that ended up being HCDI. At first, it was not. I took a loss on this. But, oh, sorry, actually, I got carried away. But what I saw that was similar with, what do you call it? VLON and ALVR was, the other day it had a gap up and it faced resistance here in the mid eights. Had a quick push out the gate, but besides that, it was a fader all day. There was a solid little opportunity here, but ended up just fading and not being that great of a play. And then there was CRXT, right? Is that the one? No, that isn't the one. What was the one yesterday? Oh no, it was CYN. Ended up being a good play for me today. We'll get into that. But yesterday, CYN, similar fashion, huge gap up, opening near the highs. This one did consolidate for a bit more, but just quick push right out of just early morning and face resistance. Couldn't break higher. Ended up failing the rest of the day. Today we got a solid trade on it. We'll get into that. But that was a similarity I saw with VLON today. So was hesitant to trade it, but like a dummy ended up trading it. Was just emotional. But yeah, HCDI. Here we are. We have a previous high day break and a multi-month break as well. Was this in the watch list? I forgot. One sec. No, it was not. Oh yeah, I remember this. This one popped up early on. I was watching it. We got this little perk here. It was up decently from 220s previous close up into 250s, 260s. Popped up on my radar. So saw that previous high break, and then there was that multi-month break over the 260s here. And next resistance seemed to be the 290s, 3-ish area, maybe low threes. So I was looking for the quick trade, holding 255, 260, since those two are key price areas and they're right next to each other. So looking for that zone of the mid twos to hold, and got faked out here at first, and should have been more patient. And I did have my what do you call it? My advanced order set, so my stop got executed. But here in hindsight, not a whole ton of volume behind this push down. If we really look at it, very little volume. It had an aggressive push, but the volume wasn't matching it, and came right back. It held, and that's when it really caught my attention again. Holding the key level again, uptrending now. failing to break down, holding VWAP, and making a higher low. So thought it would be good to get another shot at it. It was a very choppy play, but did end up doing exactly as I wanted. So that ended up putting me green on the day. And that was very nice. And ended up being a boring day. There was DOGZ, which had a very nice, actually, panic dip buy opportunity. Just took it off watch and forgot about it. I remember seeing it here. Where was it? I forgot. I remember actually seeing it. I think it was in the low twos. So it was on live stream. I forgot. But yeah, that wasn't the focus play of the day. Then moved on later on in the day. Wasn't a whole ton midday. So then SKYH popped up on my watch. So into power hour, I was looking at VLON, SkyH, and CYN. And what the patterns there were for VLON, which didn't end up doing it, was a potential open price reclaim, comeback, failure to break down, low float, low market cap play. Float was only 3.2 million. If it failed to break down, I thought we'd come back for an open price play to test the 268 high a day from the morning, and from there squeeze on higher to 3. Just didn't have the volume, as we can see, to do that. But things almost reminded me of CYN. A lot of choppiness into the close. Didn't totally break down. This is definitely going to be on radar on Monday. But yeah, this one just didn't end up working out. And then there was SKYH, which was a really choppy play here. Still holding up. Insane volume, low float. Not insane, not that low of a market cap for my liking. But I was looking for that 775 area to hold from previous high day, because after that, it seems like it's trying to bottom out. And I thought we could get to maybe 9, maybe 10. But way too choppy, so I ended up ignoring that. So my only option ended up being CYN. Even though I'd tweet this probably an hour after that, kind of got my answer that I was really focusing on CYN. Maybe less time than that. But yeah, here, CYN, major play from yesterday. This is what I'm talking about, where VLON is kind of reminding me of the same pattern. Came back, didn't really perform or do anything here. Kind of got stuffed at VWAP, but also didn't break down at VWAP. But yeah, failed to break down and came back for a red to green move, and then went for a previous high day, which was the pattern mapped out of the watch list. We go back here, 245 previous high day break. I did want 3. Didn't get that momentum, but we did get a solid push to the high 2s, and that's a decent profit angle. I took my quick gains, even though I didn't trade it that great the first time. But here's the daily chart. We did have a bunch of resistance here in the high 2, so I did keep that in mind if it couldn't really get to 3. So when I saw the quick push of 280s after a choppy move, I was just done, especially after this dip. This was annoying, but it was on low volume. As you can see, doesn't even really pop up here. It's just hidden by all the buying that's going on. Got the quick push and just sold into it. Was just so exhausted with this choppiness. But here we are. Solid red to green move. Then it caught my attention when it failed to break down and held red green and the high from the morning. And from there, took a quick stab at it at 231. Got a nice little push. And then had an emotional sell when really all it was doing was holding trend. It was being choppy, but should have never sold it. Got that live on Tradecaster earlier today. Just thinking, okay, I don't want to sell into weakness, but I don't like this push. But at the same time, I did fail to recognize the low volume, which is why I learned from it. And when it happened here, I held through it because I recognized it was a similar kind of dip where there really wasn't much volume pushing it lower. There wasn't energy behind that weakness. So kept making, combine that with it holding trend, I'm thinking it might come back. And this case, I ended up selling emotionally, just for a 2-cent gain. was nothing. But yeah, so if I held just a few minutes longer, would have been real satisfied. Would have probably added what I was buying again here when I saw it holding, making a higher low, continuing to hold trend. Volume continued to come in, and now we're holding around that key level. So from there, it was just following the trend. This was really choppy and was annoying, especially here. But like I said, there was no push really behind this aggressive move, this thick candle here. You really want to see, for it to be a convincing, a meaningful move, the volume's got to match the candle essentially. Here you get the strong push, and that's why you get such a fat volume bar. And then it retreats, and you see, doesn't retreat, but it fails to keep pushing higher, and you can see that with the volume. It totally fades, and it gets choppy a bit. So volume, like I always say, very key. But here it is in action. I learned from my mistake here, selling into the weakness with no volume, and adapted to it here. Held through this dip, and it got a push right back and went to new highs, and ended up locking in those gains. So that these two trades, this was $20, this was $280. Took it from 243 to 271. So decent trading considering what was offered for the day. Not any great clean moves. DOGZ was probably the best clean move there was, and I wasn't totally ignoring it. And it was a decent setup, panic dip buy. Something I don't typically trade, but just one of those bread and butter patterns that you should just know. When a stock is panicking over 50% within the hour, at some point it's gonna come back like a bouncing ball. So yeah, that is it for the day. Not too bad of a day, way to finish the week. And yeah, hope this was useful. So, like you were able to get any lessons for my trading that I was able to, recognizing the volume and the price action with the weak dips, or kind of an aggressive dip but weak volume, as well as maybe something else about being patient, re-entering trades, whatever it takeaway was. Hope you were able to get something. Like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Twitter. Give us a follow there. Always posting alerts, thought process, and whatnot. And check us out on tradecaster.com here. A bunch of pretty cool channels of other traders. We're right here. Pack a Punch Traders. So check us out. It's a free lobby. And we're going to, we have live trades there. All my trades today were live. Got to see my thinking. Nervousness throughout. Antsiness, whatever. But yeah. So, good day. Good week. Hope everyone has a great night.